Okay, word for the day is exile. I mean, it's a word that you would hear mostly in the movies. Exile. It reminds me of Dark Knight, where we had the guy from Oppenheimer. What was he? What was his name? I'm blanking on right now, but you know who I'm talking about. The guy, yes, Cillian Murphy. There we go. He's favored by what's his name? What's the actor's name? I know the actor's name, director's name. What was it? The guy who directed Dark Knight, all of these OG movies. Oppenheimer. I'm completely blanking out. What was it? What was his name? Oppenheimer, Dark Knight. Steve Spielberg. No, that's not him. I'm completely blanking out. But moving on. Him, he loves Cillian Murphy. He casted him in one of his movies. And like he has risen to his potential. I think the director saw who he was, right? Who what the potential was in him, and he went on to become one of the finest actors of all time. Like his performance in Oppenheimer, Cinema Theory took really showed who he was, and then his TV show, The Peaky Blinders, where he showed Thomas Shelby in his truest form. When he was about to be shot in his grave. Like enemies, like double grave, put him in, they were going to shoot him in the head, but then he got away. Through Thomas Shelby's style, and he survived and he lived on. And it's impressive to see how he has come forth and like the acting skills he has. But come back to Exile, the line that he said in The Dark Knight, he was a judge of dictatorship when people ruled. I guess it's not dictatorship, but like dictatorship combining with communism in a very nasty way. But nevertheless, he was a judge at that time when the terrorists had taken over Gotham, and he was giving the choices to the prisoner, to the people who are found guilty of doing crimes. Is that was that you were exile or death. So exile at that time was winter. All the all the lakes surrounding Gotham was frozen to ice. So either you got exiled, you were thrown into the river and you just walk until you die, or death, by hanging or shooting, whatever it may be. But that word, the way he uses say it, and like bash that lawhammer, I don't know what's that called, but doing that, and the way he said it, exile, death. So the thing is, he gives choices to his prisoners. You have a choice of death or exile. And I remember at the time the police officer was like, "I want death," but then he was, in true Dark Knight theme, he was like, "You get death by exile." So they throw him out to the frozen river, right? And as soon as they're walking, right, they have this expectation that they don't know what's going to happen, and then they see a flare come out. Well, that's enough with that. Yeah.